put your phone on like silent. Just
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you can't type either because I can hear all your typing.
I know, it's so loud.
It's so loud and it's so.
I had to do game design stuff today. Let me find the video because you can hear how loud my typing is. Let me. Oh, I'm still on it. You can't comment on how cringe the video is.
Okay.
Because then I'll cry. And you'll feel bad.
Okay, I'll just keep.
I had to narrate. I didn't want to do it.
You had to narrate? You didn't want to narrate, but you wanted to start a podcast with me?
Yes, because that's not narrating to my teacher about what I'm doing.
No, that's just narrating to possibly tons of people who you don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's about stuff that I'm not being forced to do.
Oh, like not forced to understand?
Mm.
Okay, do we want to start an intro?
Oh. I didn't realize you were recording.
I said I'm just going to start recording and then we'll start at like 1 minute to be safe. We're at 3 minutes.
Oh. Whoops.
Okay, wait, who's starting? Me?
You. You say, I'm Amelia, and then I go, and I'm Abby, and then we both go, and we're the Sinister Sisters. And this is Spooky Stories.
I think it would be really funny if you would just do the intro yourself. Just exactly like that every single time. No? Not like that?
No!
Okay.
People think I'm crazy.
Do I have to fake my voice? Does my voice sound bad? Do I need to do like a fake podcaster voice?
Please do that voice like the entire time.
Imagine if I did this the entire time. Okay. Cut all of that at the beginning.
Don't cut it.
No, cutting all of that at the beginning. We are not going to do that bit that every other podcast does in the world where they say cut it and then they don't actually cut it. Maybe we will because it's kind of funny. Okay. I feel like I'm going to laugh the whole time.
No, this is scary.
Okay,
you're not allowed.
Spooky. Okay. I hate saying my name.
Why do you hate saying your name?
It's awkward saying your name.
Maybe it's just because my name's so common that I don't have a problem with it anymore.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm about to pee myself.
Oh my god, do you need to go to the bathroom?
No. Hold on, I gotta look at something. Hold on, then I'll
You're going to wake your infant up.
No, I'm not. Jasper, stop. Okay, so we have this, and you'll understand why I'm so freaked out after I tell you about this. Okay, let's do our intro first, okay? I'm Amelia.
And I'm Abby.
That was not entertaining. And we're the Sinisters.
I forgot what we were called.
And we're the Sinisters.
I designed it, and I forgot every bit
That's
of
okay.
it.
We'll get better each episode, hopefully. And this is
Spooky Stories.
Okay.
Why you have to? If you're gonna say it like that, I'm gonna let you say it by yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's our crappy first intro. We will get better as it goes on. Anyways, so I have Maria's like playpen in the kitchen right now because I have to fold it up and put it away, and it's like it's got this little those things like that in Sims like that hang over the baby's cribs and stuff. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jasper was hanging off the edge, so Jasper got up there and hit it. And whenever it turns, it makes like a noise, like the creepy little ticking noise that you hear from like wind-up toys, like in the that noise. And then almost pee myself. And you'll understand why I'm so scared about like that baby thing after I tell you the topic. So I guess we should probably clarify what this podcast is about, if anybody actually decides to listen. So I don't know how to say it. We're just gonna do anything that's spooky. Talk about like urban legends and what other ideas did we have?
Lost media.
Yeah.
Creepypastas, cryptids.
Maybe we might dive into some true crime. Maybe we don't know yet. Pretty much anything that we find that spooks us out, which for me can be anything. I'm literally so scared.
Everything.
Literally, I'm so scared to do this that I literally have Dance Moms muted on my TV right now, playing in the background.
I can make it scarier and turn my light off, and then I can.
How's that scarier? That's not scarier for. Oh, so you're not gonna be.
It's scarier for me.
Okay, you're right. That's
Jeez.
not gonna be me because
You're the
you
only
are
person
in
that
a house with 3 other people and I am by myself
I
in the
did turn my fairy lights on though, because I'm not that brave.
Okay, so do you have any idea what our topic might be about today? Because I didn't tell you anything.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm thinking it has to do with like some kind of scary kid urban legend.
okay, okay. And I'm pretty positive you've heard about this. So
Probably.
we're gonna be talking about the black-eyed children today. Have you heard anything about the black-eyed children?
I I feel like I used to like watch a lot of stuff about it, but I have no memory of it.
I'll tell you where you heard it from because it's the same place I first heard it from, and that's from Shane Dawson way back when.
No,
Probably
that's
most
not
likely.
where I first heard it from.
Oh, okay.
Unlike you, I've watched actually scary videos that weren't
Okay.
by Shane Dawson.
Well, whatever. Anyways, so I have like a whole bunch of facts, like where it all started, and then at the end, I have like some encounter stories to read. Okay, so I want to do it just in case, just to feel professional. I will list my
Uh-huh.
sources that I used. So I used the BBC News School Report, the Business Standard, and then all the encounters are by the lineup. I've never heard of any of these websites. Okay. So I guess we'll just get started. So jump in anytime you get to say
Before you
something.
get started,
Oh.
you know, Adventure Time had like these really creepy black-eyed children in it.
Really?
Yes.
A children's show?
Yes. Well, Adventure Time also said sexy a lot.
Oh.
So,
Okay. See, I could see Gravity Falls having like a black eyed children.
I don't, I don't think they ever did. But I know Adventure Time did because they were like these like girls in white dresses who had like really long creepy black hair and like big black eyes, and at the end
Ew,
they like
stop.
popped their eyes out,
Ew,
like took
stop.
them off
I'm scared.
with just
Stop.
lenses, and they ripped their wigs off, and then they were like um just like little like dudes that
Stop.
just like
I'm
floated
so
out the
scared right
window.
now. My cat's literally giving me the death stare. I'm so scared right now. Okay. 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 So, are we ready to learn about the black eyed children? Which a lot of this, like, I kind of knew, but, like, I don't know, it's just kind of creepy. Okay. So, according to the Business Standard website, this is the definition of, I guess, like, what they are, where they came from. So,
Can I guess what the definition of what they are is?
go for it.
It's children that have black eyes.
And we're done with the podcast. Bye. Okay. The Black-Eyed Children, or Black-Eyed Kids, is an urban legend of paranormal creatures that resemble children between the ages of 6 and 16. These creatures with pale skin and black eyes have reportedly been seen hitchhiking, panhandling, or at the doorsteps of homes. But also, while I was doing this, apparently they can come to your car too, and it's not. I've only heard the doorsteps, like at your door. I never knew they can come up to your car.
Um, I don't. I don't think I ever heard like any of them. Like I thought they always just like stood at your window and like
Ew.
stared in,
Okay.
like a bunch of fucking stalkers.
That's a whole lot creepier, and I don't like that. Ew, ew, ew. I'm gonna. What? Okay. So, ew, I hate that. I think that would be way worse if they're staring at the window and just not. I'd rather them knock at my door and be like, "You want some Girl Scout cookies?"
You're gonna take Girl Scout cookies from someone who doesn't have eyes?
Well, we don't know. Ugh, you don't know they have. They don't have eyes at first, okay? It's not like you just like, "Hey, buddy, look at me in my eye. Look at me in my eyes.
Okay,
Let me make sure you have eyes
if
first."
a little girl came up to me, came at my door, knock knock knock, Girl Scout cookies, I'm looking you in the face. If you do not look me in, if we do not lock eyes, I'm not buying your cookies.
I feel like I would though, because I hate making eye contact with people.
Okay, well, sometimes you gotta make eye contact. You gotta know if it's a little, like, demon child or if it's a normal Girl Scout.
Well, if you knew it was a normal Girl Scout, don't they gotta wear Girl Scout uniforms?
Well, maybe the
No,
Black Eyed Children
we were
robbed a
never
Girl
in Girl
Scout.
Scouts.
Took her
We were,
outfit.
We were never in Girl Scouts. And this year, I like saw no Girl Scouts at Walmart selling Girl Scout cookies. So I don't know what
I've never
happened.
seen a Girl Scout ever.
Oh, that's really sad.
I know.
Okay, back to the podcast. Anyways, so there are stories that all pretty much say the same thing, that all the kids obviously have blacked out eyes and appear at people's homes or vehicles and knock on the door and window and insist on coming inside. It says that people who have seen them have felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Have you ever seen a black-eyed child?
No, but I am wondering if maybe they're just like little kid vampires.
Well, see, that's the thing is we'll get into it. Oh, it's right here. I'll just read this real fast. Other than their eyes, they seem to look like normal children. Nobody knows what they actually are. Conspiracy theorists believe that they are aliens trying to reach out to their Earth. And demonologists, which I did not know that was a thing, and I want to know how you become a demonologist. They
Well, in the
believe.
same way you become a cryptozoologist.
What's a cryptozoologist?
It's someone who studies cryptids.
Do you think you have to like go to school for that?
I don't think so. I think you just decide, this is what I am.
Okay. I mean, you do you. Saves you years of school.
What kind of school are they gonna go to? Are they gonna like go
An
into
exorcism
bachelor's?
school? I don't know.
Bachelor's in cryptozoology?
I would take that class. You can't tell me you wouldn't. I would take that class. So, the demonologists believe they are children of the devil, and if you let them in, you are letting the devil enter your life.
Gasp.
That kind of freaks me out. What did you think they were? Like vampire children?
I said they could be vampire children if they have to ask to be let in.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I never thought of that. What if they are vampire children? What if that's where they wear what they wear? Because it said that they wear hoods and because like they'll sparkle. Because obviously all vampires sparkle in the sun. Okay, so this is getting into like the common story of them. The common story is that when you encounter these children, one of the children, it always comes in pairs, what I've read, would come up and ask you for help. The second one would come up to you. They will ask for a request that will involve coming into your home or your car. If you say no, they will start to say threats such as, you have to let us in, trying to like gaslight you, I guess. I don't know.
That's not a threat.
That's what I thought whenever I read it.
You have to let us in. Are you threatening me?
Let me find the web. Okay, this is the website I use. This is from BBC News School Report. They say, where's the threats?
We'll eat your firstborn if you don't let us in your car.
They usually, if you say no, they will come back with you with threats such as, you have to let me in, or they will say, please, I need to call someone. I want to know how that's a threat, but that's according to BBC News School Report that that's a threat.
They don't know anything, apparently.
Apparently not. So,
You have to let me in. It's not a threat.
I'm threatening you. Please let me in. According to the people who have experienced this, they find themselves helping the children without even wanting to or realizing that they are. After they notice the black eyes, they slam the door or drive off. I think that's the creepiest part to me is like they are like going under like later here in a little bit we'll focus on like a little story this guy who's like the first guy to put out his experience with it, and like it's just creepy to me that somebody can do something without realizing that they're doing it. That's like
You don't ever do something without realizing you're doing it.
if there's a spooky two children talking to me saying they need help, I think I'm gonna know if I'm opening the door or not. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so this is the man that kind of started it all. So it says that the legend started in 1996, which was honestly not that long ago.
How long ago was that? How many years was
1996.
that?
I don't know. You want me to Google it?
Yeah, I want you to do the
How
math
many
because
years
I'm not
ago
going to.
was 1996? 26 years ago. So he was, from what I got, is like he was the first person. His name is Brian Bethel, and he was from Texas. I always, anytime I was writing his name, I always would write Brain instead of Brian. And he wrote about his two encounters with these creatures. So He's had like
He encountered him twice.
apparently that seems a little suspicious, right?
What did he do with them? Like, clearly he did something to them where they came not once,
But
but
twice.
twice.
But twice. That's what I'm saying. Because like you got to be really, I don't even know. And he didn't even like work with any kind of spiritual stuff or anything. He literally had a day
He's
job.
just some dude.
He's just some random guy.
He's
So,
just some dude, and these, like, demon kids were like, you know what? Let's torment this guy. Let this
yeah,
be our first
our
victim.
our average Joe, we're gonna see him twice. We're gonna send four of you, and we're gonna see him twice, and we're not
Do
gonna
you
end
think
up.
it was four of them and not the same two?
You think it was the same too? I don't know.
I
He
was
just
thinking it
told
was the
one
same
story.
two.
You think so? That would be creepy. That would ew. So he actually went onto the show Monsters and Mysteries in America, which is on Travel Channel, and he went on that in 2012 to talk about his experience. I found it on Hulu, and it's one of those shows where it's like the horrible acting, it's like the actual people telling the story, and then
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
awful acting. It it was a pain. But while I was going through that, I had to like search for it because the episodes are so out of order, and like apparently like there's a whole episode on gnomes, and I didn't know gnomes were like paranormal.
You didn't know gnomes were like a mythology thing? Like
No, I
a.
feel like we should add that on our idea list because
Did you just. What did you think gnomes were?
I don't know. I thought gnomes were nice little creatures that help fairies until I watched Gravity Falls and saw the creepy gnome spitting out the rainbows.
He's not creepy.
I think so.
He literally looks like a garden gnome.
What if Gravity Falls was literally the starting point of us wanting to do all of this kind of spooky stuff? I'm blaming Gravity Falls.
You can blame Gravity Falls. I'm. Well, what was first? Five Nights at Freddy's or Gravity Falls?
I don't know. I never played Five Nights at Freddy's. It scared me too bad.
I'm looking up the release dates of things.
You really are gonna think that it was Five Nights at Freddy's
It might have been.
that started?
No, it was Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Because Gravity Falls came out in 2012.
That's what I thought. That show should not have been for children.
That show was amazing, and every child should see it.
We could probably recap every episode of that show.
Probably.
That could be a whole different podcast if we wanted to. Okay, so I actually watched.
Gravity Falls episodes.
I actually watched the very cringy. And he didn't even get his whole episode, like a whole episode. He only got a little tiny 15-minute part of episode.
He only got a section dedicated to
A
him.
little tiny
The
section.
first guy to ever encounter black-eyed children.
Yeah. To actually put it out in the
15-minute
world.
segment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so are you ready? This is his story.
Okay.
So, he was just leaving work and he realized he had to go pay a bill that was across town. This was a night at work. I don't know where he worked. He might have said it. And somehow he ended up in a parking lot of a movie theater. So I don't know if he worked in the movie theater. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention that much. I was too busy trying to type and keep up. So he said that the parking lot of the movie theater had a very like creepy sense about it, and he thought it was very strange that nobody else was there, and it was like just his car. But whatever.
Look, I could never be caught in this situation because if I felt like if I was in like a parking spot, minding my business, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of creepy here. Immediately gone. I'm not sitting there.
Immediately drive away.
I'm not gonna sit there and
Immediately.
wait for like some creepy demon kid to walk up to
No,
me.
I'm going to a
gone.
Walmart. I'm going to a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But no, this man decided that he is going to sit in his car in the creepy empty parking lot and write a check out for the bill that he has to pay. So, this is when, while he was writing the check, in his car, two children approached him and knocked on the car window. He looks over and sees two little kids who he says are between the ages of 9 and 14 wearing hoodies with the hood pulled over. That's why whenever you pulled your hood over your head tonight and I stopped doing that, it creeps me out. That's why.
Also, 9 and 14 is a very big gap. Like, I feel like you can
That's-
look at a kid and be like, you are definitely not above 9.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make it. That was like, I was kind of confused to how. Now, granted, I'm horrible at guessing ages, but I'm pretty good at guessing kid ages.
With most of the time, like most kids, you can look at them and tell if they're like
And
if it was like 7 to 10, that's fine. Or
right,
like
right, right.
12
Or
to
like,
14,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
9 to 14 though,
That's a huge age gap.
it's
That's
huge.
either a really tall 9-year-old or a really short 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So after they had came over to his car, he asked if he could help them, which mistake number one. And the older kid was, he said, was like the one who led the conversation. He didn't really hear anything from the second one. It was just the older one. And he told him that he had left money at his mom's house and they really wanted to see a movie and asked if Brian could drive them to their mom's house. Obviously, their mom did not teach them about stranger danger.
I would have lied to the kids. I would have been like, actually, the movie theater's closed today, so I can't.
Actually, my car only has enough gas to get me to my home, and then sorry, like I can't do that. Or honestly, I'm so awkward. I probably would have just drove away. I wouldn't have even asked the kids if they needed help to begin with.
Honestly, I wouldn't have either.
But that's Brian. You go, Brian. Brian said that he could tell something was off because the child was talking, and I tried to figure out what specific word he used, but I couldn't remember. And he said it was like in a soft and mature tone. Like it obviously, like he said that he has never heard like a 14-year-old talking in that kind of tone, I
What
guess.
about a 9-year-old though? Because he did say
Well,
they were 9 to 14.
that is true. Well, if a 14-year-old did, and I'm assuming a 9-year-old wouldn't.
Some 9-year-olds are weird, man.
Yeah, the black eyed children ones. Something in him told him to run. Brian says he was trembling in fear and says the kid started to feel that he was scared. This part is really creepy to me. And this is, he says, the older kid started to assure him that there is nothing to fear and says, and I quote, "Don't worry, we don't have a gun."
Oh,
I'm like,
well,
I really don't think that's what he
look,
was worried about.
to be completely fair with you, if I was like, asking a random person for help and I saw they were like creeped out, I'd be like, don't worry, I don't have like a gun or anything. Like, I'm not a kidnapper.
That is
I'll just do the
literally
exact same thing.
so suspicious. Why would you say that?
Look, it's America. You gotta tell people.
Why would you say that? Like, that just is like, well, that's a weird vibe. So you're telling me that if somebody came up to you and was like, hey, don't worry, I don't have a gun, I'm not a kidnapper, you'd be like, oh, okay, come on, buddy.
Okay, if it's a grown person, absolutely not. If it's like someone under the age of 14,
What if it's one of those adults that look like kids, though? Then you're
well,
screwed.
then I guess I'm getting murdered
Then I
by
guess
an adult who looks like a child.
Yeah, I guess you're getting kidnapped because I don't know what to tell you. So, this is the part that kind of like freaks me out, besides the gun part. Brian says that his hand reaches to the door handle, yet he cannot remember making himself do this, and he thinks he was in some sort of hypnotism kind of thing. Like he was like
He got hypnotized by a
hypnotized
child.
by them, I guess somehow. Or he said he also used. I think he said mesmerized. Like he was just mesmerized by them, is what it felt like, that he couldn't help but to help them. So then the child started getting angry and told him that they cannot come into the car unless Brian tells them it's okay. And in the reenactment, whenever they had the kid saying it, they used this like robotic voice, and it was actually kind of scary. It kind of scared me. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a kid. Why is it kind of like a robotic voice?
Did it sound like a Siri?
No, it wasn't like that kind of robotic voice. It's kind of like how if like I started glitching out on like what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
No,
think a little kid saying that would be scarier than like
yeah,
a
but he said
robot.
that the tone of the kid was a soft and mature kind of tone, and I'm like, that's a robot tone. That's not a soft and
It's
mature.
not soft and mature.
Not at all. Okay, so where was I? Charles started getting angry and told him that they cannot come in unless Brian tells them it's okay. Then, when he sees their eyes, he sees the blackness, the emptiness, he said. This is when he leaves And as he's leaving, he looks in the rearview mirror and sees nobody standing where the children were standing.
That maybe they just like ran inside.
Well, maybe my thought was maybe it's just they're in black clothing. It's kind of dark outside. Maybe he just doesn't have good eyes. He was wearing
Yeah.
glasses. No offense. No offense. No offense.
None
Okay.
taken. He could have just like not seen him, or they could have like walked away, been right out of his eyesight.
Yeah. So do you think that Brian is legitimate? Do you first of all, let's discuss just from what we heard right now. Do you think the urban legend of black-eyed children, do you think that they are real?
No,
You
I
don't.
think maybe the encounter was real. Like I think a couple of kids came up to this guy and was like, "Hey, can you drive us back to our mom's? We left our money." And he was like, "Oh my god, there's kids asking for help. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do." And then he like out of fear hallucinated they have eyes. Or
Well,
like maybe it's so dark that he couldn't see their like eyes other than just like blackness.
he had also said that after this encounter, he had ended up calling his friend, and I believe I wrote his name down. His friend's name was Chad Bevers, and he was a psychologist. And he had said, his friend said that he could feel how afraid he was, and that Brian was the first one to actually like write out this encounter and post it online. And he claims that after that, he had a bunch of other people coming forward to him and telling them they have the same kind of encounter. But I'm just like,
Were these people like in the same area though? Because
that's
maybe it's
what
just
I
like a
don't
bunch
know.
of
He
kids
never,
going to like prank anyone who's in a car alone.
right, and he never said if they were all in the same area. Not from what I caught. But I just don't know. I don't want them to be real. I definitely don't want them to be real. But if they were, if they were, I don't think they're aliens.
No.
I would definitely believe the more kind of like children of the devil kind of thing more than I would the aliens.
Because why would aliens? What do
Aliens.
they do once they get in the car? Are there any like theories like if they get in the car they're gonna
So that's
steal
one
your
thing.
body? And
That's one thing that I could not find while researching, and I went to a couple of different websites, and it was never really like they never really said what would happen. Here's an ending on the which one did I? The Business Standard website. This is what they ended with. This legend has crossed even bodies of water and landed in the Great Lake of the UK, where in 2014 the Daily Star wrote three front page stories about sightings of the black children in a haunted pub in Staffordshire. Gosh, I butchered that. Anyways, ghost hunters who believe that the black eyed children were extraterrestrials, vampires, or ghosts took these alleged sightings very seriously. Nowadays, people still claim to see black eyed children when driving late at night down an empty road or outside of their window late at night. Great. It's like you knew that's what I was going to say. Or, ew, I'm not sleeping tonight. Or even lurking in the shadows of their room. Many
okay.
people. Hold on, let me finish this one. Many people have reported seeing black eyed children standing in the corner of the room during their episodes of sleep paralysis, or even waking up in the middle of the night because they sense someone is watching them in the shadows. Were these children? Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I I don't think so. I've had something where it's like it could have been a dream, but it could have been sleep paralysis where like I remember um waking up and turning over and then I saw like a really tall lady just walk through the wall.
That's not creepy. From what I heard about sleep paralysis, it's like you can't move your body. So that probably was not sleep paralysis. I feel like we should do an episode on that to kind of do more about it. I literally wrote it down in my notes and I wrote sleepy paralysis.
Sleepy paralysis.
Sleepy paralysis because there's another one like the I know I wanted to talk about some kind of famous internet stories and there was one way back when in like 2017 called Dear David. Do you remember that?
Um
It was like the guy had sleep paralysis and it was like a little kid with like a smashed face. was in his
Yes, I
room.
do.
Yeah, I think that one would be so fun. But that was like a sleep paralysis. So they're also saying that these black-eyed children could be a part of the sleep paralysis.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if they, I don't know, say, this thing blows up and there's like a bunch of stories online about it, people are reading it and then they're getting really freaked out about it. And they're thinking, oh my god, these little demon children that don't have eyes. They're everywhere. They're gonna come after
Hmm.
me. They end up going to sleep. They're gonna wake up and be like, "There's a child in my room,"
It's
or like have
definitely,
sleep paralysis and see it. It's like mass hysteria.
yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like if you're looking for it, you are going to find it.
Yeah.
Like if you keep telling yourself that it's real, you're going to make yourself end up believing it.
Even if you're not telling yourself it's real, just if you're thinking about it enough, where like it's a common thing, you're especially if it's something you're scared of, you're gonna
Yeah.
like notice things similar to it a lot more, or like have dreams about it a lot more.
Yeah. Most definitely. So you don't think they're real. You do not think the as
No.
for okay. So we'll see if you'll change your mind because I have a couple stories that are this is from the lineup and it's titled Nine Terrifying Encounters with Black Eyed Children. I don't think I'm gonna read all nine of them because that's a lot of reading. So this is the first one, and this story is titled The Boy by the Truck. And can I just say this website has the creepiest pictures on here? It is
How creepy are they?
horrible. I'll send you one. Like I'll send you the heading picture, okay? And it's really gonna freak you out. And if for and like I guess we should probably like start some social medias for our thing. And I'll definitely post one of these. I'll definitely post that picture on our social media somewhere. Did you get it? I hope I sent it
Oh,
to you and I didn't send it to
I
anybody
hate
else.
that.
Isn't
It
that
it looks like
terrifying?
Coraline with like the button
Isn't
eyes.
that horrifying?
That's awful.
That's
I
the
was just
first
kind of
thing.
picturing like, you know, instead of like the whites and like the actual color in their eyes, so it's all like black like their pupils.
No, that's terrifying right there.
And it's
So
just like
if we start like our social media, I guess we should need to do that, and we'll talk about it next episode whenever we do
I
that.
have such a great idea. Continue reading the stories.
I'll continue reading the stories. Okay. Anyway, so let me finish my thought. I'll post that photo on our social media. I might need to put like a warning in front of it, like if you slide over, it's gonna be scary. Okay, you want me to read the stories before you talk about your idea?
Um, my idea requires some effort, so yes, talk about
Oh,
it, and then we'll loop that to it. Don't
okay.
worry.
Bookmark that. Don't forget that thought. Okay, so all we're at 35 minutes right now. My baby just woke up. It's okay. It's okay. Mommy's just talking about scary stuff. I'll read two and see where we're at. I'll read them and then we'll discuss them. Okay, so this one is called, what did I say it was called? The Boy by the Truck. On March 17th, 2008, a 12-year-old boy had a bone-chilling experience in an outlet parking lot. While
Wait, a
waiting,
kid had this experience, so they're
yes.
not just going after like adults.
No, apparently they are going after kids. A 12-year-old boy, yeah. So like they're going after people
Yes.
their own age. Which is kind of like I don't know if that would be more smart or not because sometimes children can be oblivious and they're just like, okay. Anyways, while waiting in his mother's truck for his mother to finish getting a haircut, he saw a boy walking across the parking lot. Thinking it was a friend from school, the boy banged on the window until the boy turned around. They need to like define which boys are banging on the windows and which ones are not. Realizing it is not his friend, the boy in the truck watched in confusion as the strange kid walked up and stared through the window. The boy caught one glance at the other boy's solid black eyes and knew he was staring into the face of evil. You must let me in, the black eyed boy demanded. Panicked, the boy in the car crouched under the gloved compartment. After several minutes, the black eyed boy finally disappeared. When the boy's mother returned to the truck, she informed her son that the black eyed child had come into the salon demanding the keys to her vehicle. Thankfully, the boy's mother did not give in. How did he know who was the mom?
I don't know if they're like demons. They probably got, you know, supernatural abilities or something.
I guess. I didn't read any of these prior. This one is called Cryptic Beauty. This one also apparently don't go to a movie theater because this one also has to deal with a movie theater.
Oh.
One evening, in British Columbia, they decided a group of friends decided to see a scary flick at the local movie theater. Already on edge because of the film, one of the boys leaped from his chair when he heard a knock on his door later that night. With each step he took towards the door, the man felt a sense of dread flood down his spine. Nevertheless, something compelled him to open the door. Standing on the front porch was a beautiful teenage girl. The man guessed she was around 6 feet tall.
What?
That's kind
Like,
of
if I
tall
saw
for a
you
teenage girl.
6 foot, I would
Is
not be like, you're a teenager.
Okay,
No, I'd be like, you are
this
a
is in
full
British
grown woman.
Columbia. Correct me if I'm wrong. We use the same measurements whenever it comes to 6 feet tall, right?
I think so.
I mean, if
Does
this
it
is
say
6 feet,
six
it
foot?
says 6 feet tall.
Then yes, it is
I'm
six
just
feet
like
tall.
that's really tall for a teenage girl. That's just me, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's really tall for a teenage girl.
Why would you send
It's
me
really
that?
tall for anyone.
Why
That
would
was
you
my
send me that of
idea.
my child?
Don't you love it?
I hate that. Do I need to post that now on our social media whenever we get it? That is absolutely horrifying. That is evil. If I guess I'll just say it now, just in case I forget to post it. Abby decided that she's gonna take a picture that she has of my daughter and put black eyes on her eyes. Anyways, gosh, that was horrible. I'm gonna have that like in my dreams. I'm gonna like make sure her eyes stay in
You're
her
never
on
gonna
my.
see your daughter the same again.
She ain't gonna be able to see me. Okay, 6 feet tall, and she had a beautiful blonde hair. May I enter the premises? The girl asked, looking up at the man with solid black eyes, horrified by what he saw. The man screamed and slammed the door in her face. He marched to his bedroom, pulled out a gun, and sat in his chair in the corner until morning. Hours later, the man went to retrieve his mail. The black eyed teen was nowhere to be found, but the word soon was etched into his front door.
Look, I don't necessarily think he deserves to have, demon child after him. However, I feel like the use of the word beautiful when describing a
A
teenager,
teenage girl.
maybe they're only going after people who deserve it.
You know what? I'm starting to agree with you. But
We don't know what Brian's ever
until
done.
I just briefly read this last story. I think this might be the last story because um we're at 40 minutes and that's kind of short, but you know, I'm getting spooked and it's our first episode, so we just go until we feel like we're ready, okay? So this one is titled Children in the Snow. So just remember the thought where you said they're going after people who deserve it, and we'll see if that's still true after this. In January 2016, a woman in Vermont made a tragic mistake of letting two black eyed children into her home. A blizzard was raging outside when she heard a faint knocking on her front door. A boy and girl stood there, shivering, begging to use her phone. Unnerved by their presence, the woman nevertheless let them in and went to retrieve her phone. After the children walked into the light of the family room, the woman realized their eyes were completely black. As she stared at them in horror, her husband's nose began to bleed at the same time that the power suddenly went out. After what felt like an eternity, the children spoke in unison, saying their parents had arrived. Ugh.
Ew.
The woman watched as the two quietly left her house and entered a nondescript black car with a man in a suit. Not long after the strange encounter, the woman's husband was diagnosed with severe skin cancer. The woman began to suffer from regular nosebleeds and an onslaught of medical issues. She's convinced the falling health, along with her husband, is the result of the black eyed children she unwittingly let into her home.
Okay.
And I'm exiting
So
off that website because I'm scared.
she gave the kids the phone, right?
Right, yes. Well, I
And
assume so. Well, I don't know because it said that she had went to go retrieve the phone. It never said that she handed it to him, but I would assume yes.
well, if they did use the phone, call their parents, They call their parents. It's a blizzard. Power goes out. Her husband got diagnosed with what was it, skin
Skin
cancer?
cancer.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason for his nosebleeds.
Fair
I'm
enough.
thinking it's all a coincidence. And then like her health, I don't know. Maybe there was something wrong with the house.
Maybe there's
Maybe the
mold.
house had a bunch of problems that like contributed to her husband's cancer, and then, you know, nothing ever got
Did you?
checked of it, so it
Hold on.
caused her to be bad.
Are you sticking up for these black-eyed children right now?
I'm not sticking up for the black eyed children. I'm coming up with a logical explanation for what happened.
I feel like this is how the whole podcast is going to be. Every episode is going to be like you're trying to figure out the logistics, and I'm like, no, this is seriously like this. There's no other reasoning behind what is happening right now.
Well, if I don't I I can't say that the lights going out in a blizzard is because of these demon kids.
Yeah,
It's a blizzard. The power's going to go out.
I wonder if I wish she would have looked out the window and seen if the streetlights were out or anything. But the unison part creeps me out. That like gave me chills.
Look, maybe they looked and they were like at the same time, "Oh, our parents are here." You know how many times we've said stuff in unison?
Yeah, and you can't tell me it's not creepy.
I mean, I don't think it's creepy because I'm
It's
the one saying it, but
it's I guess so. But like imagine if okay, what you're telling me that if you had two children with black eyes standing in your living room and they both said in unison, "Our parents have arrived," you're not going to be creeped out?
I would be creeped out. But I'm not gonna go and be like, these kids are the reason my husband got
I
cancer and
think
why
we're
my health
forgetting
is
the
so
fact
bad.
that they have black eyes. Isn't there an episode of Supernatural with people with black eyes?
I'm not sure. That's just
Don't
what
the
the demons
demons
look
have
like.
the demons? Don't the demons got black eyes?
Look, maybe these people are just delusional.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're real. I'm not saying they're not real. I'm saying it's an urban legend, and that's where it's gonna stay. In the urban legend phenomenon group of stuff. Category, that's the word I was looking for. Which I didn't know they were an urban legend. Like I thought it
What
was
did
just
you think they were?
I don't know. I guess I don't really know the definition of an urban legend that well.
You don't know what the definition of urban
It's
legend
a genre of folklore. I guess so. So is like what is Bigfoot? Is he an urban legend?
I don't know if cryptids count as urban legends, but I think so.
I'm assuming throughout this podcast that I will be learning a lot of different words, like and the definitions, like cryptic. That describes
Cryptid.
cryptid.
Yes.
Like, what does that describe?
Cryptids?
What are cryptids?
Like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster.
I feel like I'm gonna come off as a dumb one in our group, of us two. Whoopsies. This podcast might be everybody just making fun of me because I don't know what simple words mean. So, black-eyed children, creepy or no?
They're very creepy, but I feel like a lot of the stories.
Or made up? Do you think they're made up?
Yeah, and the ones that aren't made up aren't black eyed children. They're just regular kids who are either pulling a prank or accidentally creepy, and these people are like, oh my god, it's the demons I've heard about online.
Do you think that there are any urban legends that are actually real?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I think a lot of them are true.
Do you think Bigfoot's real?
I don't know. I'm like iffy on that. It's like some stories and pictures I'm like, you know what? Could be. But other ones I'm like, absolutely not.
Do you think the Mothman's real?
Yes, I do.
You think the Mothman's real?
I think Mothman's real.
One of us will have to do Mothman. You can probably do Mothman. Somebody. Anytime I type Mothman in my notes, it capitalizes it completely. You really think the Mothman's real?
Yes.
I don't know about that one. He flies.
Okay.
I
He's a
guess
moth.
Okay. At least these are children. I guess I just don't know enough about the boss man to be like, I think he exists or not. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, on Spooky Stories with all of our spooky stories. So hopefully by the next episode we'll have some social media, possibly. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And maybe an email. Hoping that this podcast actually gets viewers. That would be really sad if it doesn't. I'm hoping that in a year somebody can take that clip of me saying it and resend it to us and be like, "Look, you're so famous now." That's my goal. That's my goal. That we keep this up for a year and somebody clips me saying, hopefully we get viewers, because if not, that would be sad. And then sends it back to us. And we'll see how many viewers we have, and we'll grow by like 3 by then.
We'll have 3 viewers in a year.
Okay. We don't even have an outro set. This first episode is a train wreck. That's okay.
It's okay. All
It's our
first
first
episodes
episode.
are.
Exactly. Thank you. I feel like I know you don't listen to podcasts, but we're definitely like ladies and tangents vibe. They are literally 2 girls that just go on tangents. Like they just go off topic all the time.
Do they have a TikTok?
They do have a TikTok. They sit on the
I think
couch.
I get them on my TikTok all
Yes.
the time.
It's like a red-haired girl and a brown-haired girl. She's like black-haired.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they literally will just go off topic so much. And I feel like we definitely have that. We're definitely that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
for all you lucky ADHD havers out there, Twirler, we fit your speed because we will totally go off topic. We literally talked about Gravity Falls a couple
We
times.
also talked about Adventure Time.
And Adventure
But
Time.
Adventure Time was related.
How was Oh yeah, I did. I guess I did really Gravity Falls somehow. All right. So what's our outro? What's our outro?
That was our outro.
That was our outro?
You asking what our outro was is our outro.
Oh. Well, I think we need to find somebody to create some like outro and intro music for us. Abby, create some outro or intro music for us.
I'll just get the generic Roblox horror game music.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I would rather have Maria slam her hands on a keyboard and make our music than have that.
But that music's so good. It's so scary.
I mean, okay. Alright, we really need to figure out. Hopefully, we'll have an outro by the next episode. Probably.
No, I got our outro.
What's our outro?
Go follow our social medias. We'll have it linked somewhere wherever you're listening to. And stay tuned for our next podcast. Goodbye.
Oh, that's pretty good. Our next.
I know
podcast-
I'm great at outros.
You should have said our next podcast episode.
Oh. Too late now. I've already done it. I can't do it again.
No, it's okay. We'll just leave this all in. I feel like I'm literally gonna go through editing and not cut out any of this.
You better not. I'll listen to it and then I'll yell at you and be like, "Why'd you cut that out? I was so funny."
I'll send you the unedited version. Okay, we'll see you on the next episode of what did we call it? We literally changed the name right before we got here. Spooky Stories.
Stories with the Sinister Sisters.
Yeah, Spooky Stories with the Sinister Sisters. Do we need to say bye? Is it polite?
Yes, I already
I feel
said
like we should have
bye.
some
and
advice.
You kept talking.
Let's end the podcast. Let's give some advice. Be respectful to the paranormal. That's some pretty good advice.
Don't let children in your car.
Don't let children in your car.
Unless you know them, then it's
Always-
your choice.
Always check and see if the children have eyes.
Always check and see if the Girl Scouts have eyes before you accept the cookies.
And if you encounter a 6 foot tall teenager,
Don't call her beautiful.
please. Okay, do the outro again.
I don't remember it. Go follow all of our socials linked somewhere wherever you're listening to this, and be sure to follow us and wait
in.
for the next episode. Bye.
Bye.